Mr. Chairman.
Oh, is this my favorite senator? All right, I'm down. I am down. I am down for this one. All right, well, if you're new to the live, welcome. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, we make fun of, we laugh at stuff. We're going to be checking out a video from the Senate Judiciary Committee. This is going to be my favorite senator for comment. Senator Kennedy, I think is his name. And he's got the best one-liners. He's definitely got the best one-liners for sure. So let's check out this little clip and see what he's talking about.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I confess I'm a little confused, and I appreciate the argument or discussion that we've been having, but for me, it's a little too conceptual, or I don't know, metaphysical or theological or whatever you want to call it. I want to try to understand what you're asking us to do. Let's take two books that have been much discussed. The first one is called All Boys Aren't Blue, and I will quote from it.
Please don't.
I put some lube on and got him on his knees. And I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself.
My stomach hurts.
This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me.
What the?
It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. Close quote. All Boys Aren't Blue. The second is another much discussed book. I'm sure you.
Okay, that was absolutely vile and disgusting. And let me guess, this is a book targeted to 5th graders? And the lefties are pretending Republicans are banning books. We're book banning. That's what we're doing. We're book banning. No, if you want to buy this sick book, go ahead and buy it. We're not saying you can't buy it on Amazon. You can't go to Barnes & Nobles to the porn section and pick it up. We're not saying that. We're saying don't put it in the public library for children to read. This isn't a hard concept, people. Don't show graphic, sexually detailed, explicit images and verbiage to children. It's not hard. This is not hard.
You're familiar with it. It's called Genderqueer. Okay. Let me read an excerpt from that. Quote, I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me. End quote.
What the fuck?
Mr. Secretary, what are you asking us to do? Are you suggesting that only librarians should decide whether the two books that I just referenced should be available to kids?
I don't know what that means, centrist.
Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. Tell me what you're saying.
Well, first of all, there's this.
Don't give me a speech. Tell me what you're asking me to do.
With all due respect, Senator, the words you spoke are disturbing, especially coming out of your mouth is very disturbing. But what I would also tell you that We're not advocating for kids to read porn, to Senator Booker's
What
point.
are you advocating for?
We are advocating for parents, random parents, not to have the ability, under the guise of keeping kids safe, to try and challenge the world view of every single manner on these issues.
You're getting conceptual game.
I'm not getting conceptual. I'm saying
yes,
that
you are. Yes, you are. Because I want to know what you're recommending. It sounds to me like what some of you are saying, the librarians should decide who gets to see that book.
I'm saying when individual parents are allowed to make a decision of where that line is, and To Kill a Mockingbird, which involves a rape scene, should that book be pulled from our libraries? I think it becomes a slippery slope.
I think you ought to think about it a little bit more before you come here.
I've thought about,
If you're going to propose something, you ought to be able, in 30 seconds, to be able to explain what you're asking us to do. Ms. Kelly, what do you understand? Well, let me skip you for a second. Mr. Cameron, tell me what you're proposing.
It's pronounced mix.
Mix? Is that how would you like me to refer to you?
Senator, your definition of sexual is synonymous with LGBTQ identity.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you to tell me you read those two excerpts.
Genderqueer.
Do you think that, are you asking that only librarians and not parents have any say in whether minors can read those books? Is that what you're saying?
Genderqueer has never been in my school library, so it's never been banned.
Well, suppose
didn't ask
it
you
was.
that.
Should it be up just to the librarian, or should parents have a say?
Why can't
There
lefties
should
answer
be
questions?
facilitation of collaboration between
Should
students,
parents have
and
a say?
educators. Parents should be working with students and educators to be
Okay.
making decisions, because
All right.
students are
And who
these-
decides ultimately? The librarian, or do you take a vote, or who takes the vote?
book review committees in the community in my school district.
You want a committee to decide?
There are committees.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you, how do we decide whether the two books that I just referenced should be available in the library? What would you, if you were running things, what would you do?
All Boys Aren't Blue, the scene you mentioned, is about sexual abuse.
I know what it's about.
It's not
What would
erotic.
you do in terms of making the books available? Would you say anybody can see them, or they have to be in a special session?
Students who do not read books like All Boys Aren't Blue cannot learn what is appropriate.
I understand that.
They cannot learn
I understand, but none
about
of you want to
abuse.
answer my question. You
Yeah,
come here
Answer
and
the
you
damn
say
questions, people.
censorship is bad, and of course it's bad. But the obvious response is, okay, you heard the books we're talking about. Okay, we're not talking about Catcher in the Rye. So tell me what you want, who gets to decide. And all I've heard is the librarians. And parents have nothing to do with it. And if that's your response, what planet did you just parachute in from?
Parents, Senator.
Or what country, more appropriately? This is not China.
Parents, Senator, for all due respect, parents absolutely have a say. My parents were immigrants, came to this country. We never checked out books without our parents seeing what books we were reading. They encouraged us to read
Mr.
books.
Secretary, I understand this is good for your politics back home.
It's got nothing to do with my politics. My bill is
Of course
passed.
it does.
My bill is
It has
passed.
everything to do with your politics.
I'm here to.
But you came here with a problem, and I'm trying to understand the solution, and you don't have one.
We solved the solution. We solved the solution in
Other than
Illinois.
to tell us that we don't agree with you, you're on the wrong. We'll be on the wrong side of history.
We solved the problem in Illinois. We fixed it because we.
Well, there
passed
are
laws
others
that
you
make-
could work on.
Well, that's why I'm
out
here to
of
help.
time. Thank you,
I'm
Mr. Chairman.
To help other states make these decisions.
How did Illinois fix it? That is 100% disturbing. 100% disturbing, especially hearing that rather sexy older man read it. But yeah, what do you guys think? Is it book banning for Republicans not to want sexually explicit material in public schools? Is it a slippery slope? And who gets to decide what books are allowed and which books aren't? These are good questions. These are good questions. Obviously, if it's a public library, they should be able to have whatever book they want. Should you be able to put a book that has sexually explicit verbiage in children's sections, 100% no. If we're talking about public schools, no. No. And I seen the other guy's point. The one guy's point is like, well, what about this old-timey book? It has, you know, it depicts a rape scene. Okay. Is it sexually graphic? Does it detail the rape with the size of his cock and how much they liked it or didn't like it and all that weird shit? Then no. If it describes violence, then I mean that's something different. But I don't know why this is even an argument. I don't even know why this is an argument. If you read that quote that he read and you feel that 10-year-olds should be able to read this, you're a disgusting piece of shit. Just so you know. Just so you know. I don't even know if I want to put that out as a video because I'll probably get a strike or something from YouTube. I'm surprised they didn't shut down the stream after he said it. But YouTube does promote sexuality because they basically have porn on YouTube. Unfortunately for me, I've seen clips of those videos they have on YouTube where they show, it's like gay dudes getting rammed from behind. And it's just on YouTube. It's just on there. It's just on there. Which is, it's gnarly.